I was talking to Doug this morning about down the street there, there's a homeless encampment somewhere by the car dealership down there. And it was so many over there at one time, they made them move across the street to next to the Jewish Center. So you got a bunch of them by the car center and the Jewish Center. And the other morning I was driving in to work and they had a big blazing fire going on the sidewalk. I'm like, this is amazing. They had a fire, they were trying to keep warm, right? Because it was raining and cold. And I'm like, what would happen if a spark of fire was to set off the Jewish Center or the electric wire, and homes around the area can burn down, and businesses can burn down. And I wonder, why don't they make these people move? And so I asked the neighbor down there, why don't you make these people move? And he said, I can't. The law says that they can be there. It's against the law that would, whatever, right? And I'm like, oh, that's one law, I ain't going to say, I'm going to jail. Some laws you just have to be willing to go to jail for, right? If somebody come here, and they do it, and try to set up encampment for my business, I ain't putting up with that. I'm just not going to put up with it. There's a way to deal with it where you don't have to put up with it. You know, just sit back quietly and do nothing. This is your business. You bought the company. You own the company. And some stupid politician passed a law that says some person on drugs or insane, whatever, can come and set up shop on the sidewalk right in front of your building, and you got to put up with it? No way, Jose. But what mindset, as I was saying to Doug this morning, what mindset of the lawmakers that they decided to tell the folks, y'all can live on the streets, do drugs, and matter of fact, we're going to give you the drugs. You can do this in front of somebody else's business, and we're going to pass a law to make sure they do it. What's the mindset of the politicians that's doing that? And Jared made the point that, well, they're not putting it in front of their businesses and their homes. It's somebody else. But if we put up with that, it's just going to get worse. And okay, the politicians said okay, but we don't have to say okay to everything. You know what I mean? I don't know if I told you, but should I tell this story? I may go to jail, but I'll tell it. Am I going to go to jail?
I don't know what story you're about to tell.
Oh, about a homeless person in front of the building.
Go ahead.
Remember that homeless story?
I think you don't do it.
Oh, yeah.
I like this story.
And remember y'all were scared to do something about it? And I said, okay.
Go ahead and tell that story.
Oh, okay.
Self-snitching.
That's right. So it was this homeless woman. She was out there on the street making a little camp right in front of the business. And she handcuffs herself to the tree out there. And so I was doing counseling, I was interviewing her, some on the phone. And so a couple of the workers came up, the guys, they said, oh, there's a homeless person out there. I said, oh, okay, go tell them to move. And so they went out there, you gotta move. And the homeless person said, I ain't going nowhere. A little Spanish woman. She's like, I'm not going anywhere. And then so I said, okay, then send a couple other guys out there to tell her. So two groups of guys went out there, you gotta move. And she's like, I ain't going nowhere. And she had a cell phone and everything. I said, okay, don't worry, let me finish what I'm doing. I'll go out there, she'll move. So I went out there and I said, you gotta move, you're not gonna sit here in front of my business like this. I ain't going nowhere, senor. I said, oh yeah, you moving. And then I said, you can't be here. I can, it's the law, I could be here. No, you can't, you're not gonna be here. I'll stay here, senor. And so she pulled out her cell phone like she gonna videotape me. And I said, what's that? That's my cell phone videotaping you. That's so good. I want you to know, if you don't pick up your stuff and move right now, I'm gonna cut your arm off. And I'm gonna throw you out into the street, and then you won't be in my business. And the handcuffs will stay, but you going. And I'm going Black Lives Matter on you. That woman hurried up and ran. She hurried up and left. I haven't seen her since. There's things you can do.
Oh, yeah.
But you have to do it, be smart about it. You know what I'm saying? I said, I'm going Black Lives Matter on you. See, Black Lives Matter good for something. So, but you got to be wise. You got to see when and how and where. and not be all angry and lost in your mind and give it into anger. Because whenever you give in to anger, you're gonna make the wrong decision every time. But there's a way out of everything. It's a way to overcome everything. And so I was trying to understand, just reflecting on the mindset of all these things I'm seeing happening, and the people accepting them. Because as you understand how your mind works, you're gonna understand the mindset of others too. And it's gonna be impossible for you to get angry. Once you have true understanding, no matter what the situation is, it will be impossible to get angry. You will be able to speak up and deal with the situation, but you will not get angry, because the spirit of anger, which is of the devil, will be taken away from you. God does not want us to argue with the devil in the imagination and thoughts, and he doesn't want you to argue with the devil and others. That's what the devil wants. He wants you to argue, because when you argue, he has control. He has control of you. Don't argue with the devil. All right? Okay, I saw this hand first and then here. Yes.
I've done that too. People sometimes people hang out in the alley back there getting high.
Yeah.
And there's those apartments over there have kids, so sometimes I'll come out and I'll see somebody just kind of like almost hiding, and so I'll tell them, you got to go. And it's not even on our property right here. It's in that apartment over there. And I'll just tell them, you got to, and they really go off. But I noticed that if I'm just hold my ground, they're in a few minutes you look out the window, they're gone.
There is unseen power in love. Not emotional love, but God's love. You don't see it, you don't feel it, you don't take credit for the outcome, but something happens when you are of love. God loves us, he take care of us. Satan loves you in his way, he'll destroy you, right? God loves us and he will take care of his children. There was a woman laying out there the other day in front of us. She was just uncomfortable. And I was leaving the building, so I was driving down the road. I looked over, I saw her laying there, sun going down. So I turned around and I went and parked my car and said, hey, you cannot sleep here tonight. What? You cannot sleep here tonight. And she got ticked. You are a misogynist. I'm like, how a homeless person, where they get that word from? How does a homeless person know about misogyny? Did she go to school or something? And then she said, you're a misogynist. You're not supposed to talk to a woman like this, like that. I said, you know what? I don't care what. This misogynist is telling you, you're not going to sleep in front of my building. You got to go. And she grabbed the bar and stuff and ran. And she was yelling and screaming, but she took off. And I left her. I haven't seen her since. You got to stay calm. You got to be of love. There's a real love with real power. But you don't feel the power. You don't take credit for it. You're not ego tripping with the power. You're just living your life. Just like you live for the devil, you can truly live for God. And just like at one point you didn't know you were living for the devil, you don't think, oh, I'm living for God. I'm doing this because God is with me. You don't think that. All thoughts about God are from the devil. All thoughts about God are from the devil. God is not of thoughts. That makes sense a little bit?